Hi everyone, Julie is here. I'm glad to see in my channel Redheads of Russian. And the theme today's video will be why is everyone red-headed in Ireland? So let's begin. Today we will debunk the Irish myth regarding the red-haired people living in Ireland. For a reason unknown to me, many people think that most Irish people necessarily red-haired, but this is not at all the case. If you really want to enjoy these types, then you must dare to Scotland, where people with red hair 13% by 3% more than in Ireland, or in Udmurtia, where statistics say that people with red hair already 30% there.
Well, if you delve into genetics, red, ginger is an evolutionary reaction to the constant lack of sunlight. The fiery coloration appears due to such a pigment as pheomelanin, which is formed due to mutations in the gene. That is, the macroenvironment in such a non-trivial way can affect the human microenvironment. So all of us walking over a gloomy sky should be more careful. By the way, are there among my viewers those who have such a rare hair color? Let me know in the comments. After all, there are only 1–2% of all red-haired people on the world. Nevertheless, the probability of the appearance of a red-haired child in the family, even among red-haired ones, is not very high, since the color is determined not by one gene, but by several.
In Russia, during our school years, we solved problems in biology, calculated what eye color could appear. Here the same story, only with hair. So for two redheads in pair, the probability of redheads will be 60%, but 40% which can be divided into both blondies and brown hair. But in general, the association with red-haired inhabitants of Ireland is nothing more than romanticization, memorable image, especially in combination with green color.
Well, here again, referring to the eye color to green, which 1.6% of the world's people possess. Green is included in the list of the rarest eye colors. But, for example, I heard about purple, but it's unlikely that it will have such a big statistics. Green itself is also a genetic mutation, and green is a blue color that has covered the brown pigment.
Well, if it's about genus, then the age of the gene responsible for red, fair skin, and freckles from 50 to 100,000 years, which means that is much older than the gene of the Homo sapiens species to which humanity belongs. It turns out redheads and may even be our ancestors. And by the way, subscribe to my channel, mark the bell in order not to miss new release, and push the button if you like this video. Move on.
Historical facts. There is a hypothesis that you should not take redheads on board, because after death they are reborn and turn into vampires. This is relative to the Greek ethnic group. In Egypt, redheads were completely sacrificed to god Amon-Ra in order to remove all the misfortunes that they carried with them. You yourself know about the Middle Ages and the Inquisition, except that the purpose of that time was mostly women. Those hair personified hellfire. And by the way, redheads in Russia during the reign of Peter was not taken into the army. Time for other interesting facts. It's also more difficult for redheads to tan because they have thin and pale skin that almost does not produce melanin. The amount of hair on their heads is 1.5 times less than that of the same blondies, but they themselves are thick in their structure, so they look like magnificent. In addition, red-haired people practically do not suffer from rickets and arthritis. It turns out that redheads have their own smell, reminiscent of a mixture of ambergris and violets, with a musky aroma.
Did someone check it? In general, I wonder where such information comes from and what interesting information do you know about red-haired people? Write in the comments. Well, I said so much, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. See you next thematic video.